Hello, SpeedGaming. Welcome to A Link to the Past Randomizer Season 6. This is Week 4, Pilot Spoiler. This is very fun mode. And I am Dapper Wordman. I am joined today by Wolflink0370, and Siryu X is tracking for us today. Welcome, everyone.
Good afternoon, and yes, we are playing in here our piloted spoiler week with a little extra key sanity. So if you saw our last week, we did have key sanity, but the trick list of that was we have the Ganis Tower big key on pedestal. That is not the restriction this time. Pedestal could be anything, and of course we will have everything else. But the spoiler part of that might be something you're not familiar with. This is a spoiler log race. So Jay Masher on his side of the team has his partner, I believe it is Artie Walsh, who will be reading the spoiler log of the scene and routing his play. Taylor, meanwhile, will have Gilgamesh as his teammate on SaHa's Kids routing for him. And they'll know where everything is. They'll know the pendants, the crystals, the medallion prizes, the drop tables. There's a lot of good information in that spoiler log. I'm not going to be looking at it, but there's going to be some movement with purpose here. But this could also lead to some very interesting play because it's one player's routing, one person's execution, and either one of those could mean that this could be a low percent run. So there could be a fairly decent chance at people taking deaths and losing a lot of time. But
yeah, this is definitely one of the low percent modes because you do not want to go out of your way. If you spend 30 seconds getting a heart or heart piece, heart container, maybe a mail upgrade, that is 30 seconds you are going to be losing to your opponent. And both these teams have already played once this week against each other. Tile Roomies did come out on top, so they know. It's gonna be a close matchup once again today. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about the mode, though. It's open key sanity, so you don't have to do all the dungeons like you talked about last week. You only have to do 7 crystals and then go up Ganon's Tower. So you need that Ganon's Tower big key. You need the items and the keys for all those 7 crystals. What they be now? They might be hiding out in some of your pendant dungeons. This is open key sanity. All the keys are shuffled around the world. All the items are shuffled around. So you might have to go be like maybe pendant Trinex or something like that. So it's not always going to be super easy. And there's, we do not have the spoiler log yet. The runners and the pilots who are in voice call individually are going to get the spoiler log as soon as the race begins, which is going to be any second now. And they just kind of have an opening route. Hey, I'm going to start here at the Uncle or Sanctuary and just hope there's some good stuff along the way while you download that seed.
yes, if you recall from a long while back, we did have a spoiler log tournament. There was a 10-minute reading period so that our runners could figure out stuff there. But this week, and for this rule set, there is no setup time. You just go with the spoiler log. So there is going to be next to no advance notice on what everything is. They're going to have to route on the fly. And as you can see, your tracker here is being lit up thanks to Siryu UX, getting those pendants and crystals up. Looks like we have a green pendant swamp, 5/6 at pod. Desert has a pendant.
Oh, swamp and ice are both pendants, so we might not see the flippers today if we don't have to go into swamp. However, if we do go get those flippers, that's a good indication something's going to be in swamp. And that was a rod of some color. Sometimes
Ice
hard
rod.
for me to tell. It was ice rod. Okay, well that's very fun to get, and we have matching opening routes here. Unfortunately, Jay Meester's timer did not start, but that's fine. That's not a requirement for this. It's just unfortunate for us, but they seem to start at about the same time, so unless we get any internet hiccups, we're going to see them pretty much step for step here. And Talon has found out that there's something up in Lost Woods, or maybe going to go for a tree pull here. And Jay Musher going right into Blind's hut.
Yes, and as we see, that ice rod is in fact required as we get our pendant and crystal information. The cape is picked up. Okay, that has a few implications. But 3 bombs right there. That's one of the first things you want to route with the spoiler log is to find a source of bombs so we can do these Kakariko checks. Compasses only give us an item tally list, not really required. Not bombing there, so there's something back there. But
Oh,
yes.
maybe there is. Sometimes that log's a little bit hard to read if things get a little misplay, maybe get a little bit of mixed up because they're all sort of jumbled together. So we're gonna get the coins as well, or the rupees and a castle tower key. Okay.
Yeah, okay, that just tells us everything I need to know. It's this is an Agaseed.
Well,
Agaseeds and Kisei are rare.
It could be, but there also just might be something in the second, and you might as well grab that key while you're here, and who knows, you know? Or maybe they did. Maybe they did look it up. A good way to tell is where's the second castle tower key? Is that in the dark world, or is that just here in the light world as well? And yeah, it's probably an Agaseed. Is it in GT or something like that? Was that big key to Ice Palace? So both runners getting that castle tower key. Talon seemed to know about it before going in, and there was a small key to Ice as well. Oh, nice bow. Okay. It's actually a very loaded Kakariko. A Skullwood small is always so nice. And yeah, just get everything in the well. Tower Para big key. Maybe you don't need it. Maybe you do, but it's nice to have instead of messing up the Hera pot. And got to walk by the bottle vendor here. We don't have 100 rupees anyway, if there was something. It's very rare you see all 5 items in the well actually being useful. Skullwood Small is just so nice for routing, and mail upgrade, and we are out of Kakariko. I would assume going to Link's house here. And at this point, Walsh has told Jay Meisher, you know, hey, we're going to Mini Moldom, we know where we're going. He's had a few minutes to look at the log here.
Yeah, our runners here now moving with purpose. So we have our pendant and crystal information here. We have green pendant and swamp, as we mentioned earlier. Desert and ice are our other 2 pendants. Pod and Misery Mire are our 2 crystals, but we don't know our medallion information yet. Hopefully Sirius can give us to that right quick.
We're gonna need.
We know what we're dealing with.
We're gonna need Bombos for Turtle Rock and Quake for Misery Mire. It looks like. And Talon buying bombs, putting that $50 to good use. Jay Meisher finding out you need to use bombs, not arrows there. Nice to have arrows, honestly, this early. So Talon has already gone out of the way to get a cape and is going a little bit out of the way here as well for something that Jay Meisher did not get. Maybe Jay Meisher and the Tile Roomies are going to get that on their second trip to Kakariko, or maybe they didn't notice it in time. We'll see what this is on Race Game, because this is a pretty substantial time investment. And we're going to get a dip into Eastern without the big key. But that being said, Eastern is one of the easier ones to double dip, because it's pretty accessible from the light world, and it's a small key to Turtle Rock. So we're going to need at least 3 of those, and maybe the 4th one. And I believe that's 2 that we've seen, 1 on Jay Meisher's side and 1 on Talon's side, and undoubtedly they're both going to pick up the one that the other one has already gotten.
Alright, so our first look here into Eastern Palace. We can't finish the dungeon just yet because we don't have... Oh, well, that's important to have.
Oh,
okay, that explains a lot.
Yeah, you definitely want to get those as soon as possible. This is a mode where you have to go fast. You want to go fast. All the items come at you fast and furious. And we're going to immediately go to the Bonk Rocks here. Oh, and there's a lamp. Well, that's nice to have. Lamp in the Floodgate chest. That's like super easy. Not sure if we're ever going into Swamp today, but we have it now. And Jay Meisher has gotten money. So we get another check here. The bottle vendor's given out our second pod key.
I'm starting to see more and more red flags to Aghanim seeds here.
Yeah, we did get that lamp. So we're going to need what? We definitely need at least 1 sword, and then the cape or a second sword to get into the Aga Tower itself. And that's a really nice hook shot to have there. And Jay Meisher, you're able to combo this, not needing the bomb, also with the Race Game and the library together.
Yeah, probably was running with that purpose in mind. And that 300 rupees will be useful for doing any sort of leftover purchases here. If they don't need to pay Sora, then that's all the money they'll need for this entire seed.
Yeah, getting the money before going back to the bottle vendor was pretty smart. It's very hard to run across money, bombs, and arrows in this mode because you don't pick up every chest. You know, you're not getting all the checks. You're literally only getting the chests your teammate tells you to go to. So if there's 10 arrows or 3 bombs or something like in Mini Boulder Cave, and he says just talk to the NPC and leave, you just talk to the NPC and leave, and you don't waste your time. So you hope the stun prize is nice. You hope the enemy drops are nice. You kind of take an opportunity to get any sort of those not replenishable resources that you can, because you just don't run across them as much. And Jamie sure is now also cleaning up the Lost Woods check. The cape is nice, and honestly it might be required for Aga at this point if there's only one sword that's easy and accessible. And Talon is continuing on past the Pegasus boots in the Cannonball chest of Eastern. So we'll see what else is here. Maybe it's one of those swords. I would doubt it's a sword, considering Jamie sure was already here, but it might be some other nicety.
Possibly a perk container.
Sword
oh no, more money.
Okay, yeah. Well, Zora might be a thing. Houlihaning is always an option as well. Jamie sure is at Houlihan level where you'd get really close to the Zora requirement. It's $500 for Zora. Houlihaning, there's a little trick you can use to get 225 rupees. And we're gonna use that hook shot in Mini Boulder Cave. I like this, having the hook shot before going in here.
Yeah, much more consistent weapon to use here.
There's got to be a sword or something in here, right? Because there's no way there's just like a sword in Aga Tower after using the cape. Oh, and Talon must be going all the way to the Vanilla Big Key chest, so that lamp is going to pay its dividends as well. Moon Pearl, that's nice, but no hammer, no glove yet. And there's flippers. Okay, well, there's those flippers that actually showed up. We did get them. We might go into ice. We might go into swamp. Time will tell. And we're going north. We don't have a sword. We can't beat Aga yet, but we do have a cape on both sides. Maybe there's a sword in here. Maybe Aga Tower key number 2 is in here. Who knows? Jamie sure does have the bow, so can clean up some of these rooms and escape as well. Looks like he's going to go there.
Oh, we're heading over to the Zelda Cell area first. That's not going to be fully in logic without the smoke. Oh, that's why he stayed.
Okay, that's that required bombos, which gets us into required Turtle Rock today. So here's what I'm talking about. He's got 7 arrows, and I think you need 5 to get through the first 3 guards, and then you're going to use pots and maybe 2 arrows or 2 pots on the ball and chain guard at the end. So that resource management, very important in this mode. I don't know where he got those 7 arrows. Talon's already up to 14, so had a little bit more item drops, or maybe took the time to actually get them instead of ignoring the drops. Maybe we'll see what the stun prize is here. Nope, just going to fire 1 arrow. Oh, nice big, yeah. There's that other not replenishable resource, magic. Got to make sure have enough magic. Big key to Turtle Rock. So Talon did not get the hook shot yet, so having to do bombs and doing a very good job.
Yeah,
okay,
and Jamie's just taking a death warp here.
Yeah,
last chest.
I didn't see what was in that boomerang chest, but did not get the key from the guard. Just took the death warp from the guard. So doesn't have the key, cannot go to back of escape from here, if that was the plan. Maybe it's just Dark Cross and then leave. Maybe forgetting to get the key. I'm not sure what the plan is, but we'll see.
Well, he got the big key from Turtle Rock, so if there was anything else deeper, then he didn't need to go get it.
Yeah, he clearly didn't need to go to Zelda Cell, but if he was planning on using the Hyrule Castle key to go to the back of escape here, that can't happen because he can only go to Dark Cross. Looks like setting up for some death warps though by a small key to this dungeon. You've got to be kidding me.
That's a vanilla Dark Cross key.
What is this? Casual boots? Okay, so wow, that's really funny. Here I am talking about not going to back of escape, and yeah, we can just go to back of escape. It's easy.
That is less than a 1% chance here in this mode. I want to put this Key Sandy mode. I want to point that out.
Yeah, I mean, it could literally be any of the chests because there's ways to access the back here without. So it could be in anything except the 2 chests beyond map chest, and
Okay.
there's the sword. So it's like 1 out
And the
of
second
2
Castle Tower
fortune.
small key. This is Agadim.
Yeah, there's no way it's not at this point. You just hope that there's something nice in the chest. Now he's got only 4 arrows, and fighter sword is not a great weapon in escape, or excuse me, castle tower. The game expects you to have master sword, so a lot of the enemies just are rough to kill with the fighter sword. Now Talon's going in. We'll probably see the same play here. I hope they're catching that castle tower key is in castle tower. Very, very interesting to see that. Glove is, we haven't even seen Glove or Hammer at this point, so they're just buried in the Dark World probably.
Yeah, that's probably what we're doing. Dealing with here is a forced Aghanim seed.
And yeah, using all the arrows now. Now we got to use fighter sword, 8 slashes here. I wonder what the stun price is. Not useful, I guess.
No, that is one of the things they know about, so they don't need to check. Okay, I see your game.
Oh, that was the other sword.
Yeah, we just got Master Sword in Castle Tower.
Wow. I don't. Maybe just going through. Not going to back of escape for the sword. Okay, so you see Talon here actually killed that key guard in Boomerang chest. So I had to like run out, and now won't have to open up the Dark Cross chest. Can just run through. But a little bit more time spent in the front of escape, and a little bit less time spent in the middle of escape.
Not 100% sure if it's worth, honestly. Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it might have been muscle memory of killing the guard. Now, one thing that is very interesting about this spoiler week, and I'm more able to talk about it because we have a while here while we do the Aga Tower climb, is that the runners and the pilots can both be in this restream here on SpeedGaming. They can be watching the Twitch feed of their opponent. So it's a little bit unique in the racing community where you don't usually have to be in sort of radio silence mode and not notice or see what's going on with your opponent. And Jamie's are not getting the 5 arrows there, not worried about arrows for some reason.
Yeah, that's a good point you brought up there. Is that the spoiler log takes away the normal restriction of you cannot rely on outside information. And this week, because we already have all the information anyway, there's no reason to have such a rule in place, so this is going to be treated with a little bit of lightheartedness in that regard.
Yeah. Now, I think Jay Beecher skipped that middle chest there, big key to Skullwood, so it might have just been grab everything, Gilgamesh telling Talon to just grab everything. Or maybe something's there, and Walsh and Jay Beecher did not realize it. Skullwood's big key is not required to beat the boss. But sometimes there's something tricky hiding in there, and taking Death Warp on rats on Blue Mail is just not fun.
I think that's not a good thing to do at all.
Yeah, it was a sword, and you had to get the Castle Tower key back here, didn't you? So you had to come back here.
Yeah, I think a save warp would have saved some more time than that because of how much health Talon had.
Yeah, the thing to do is to be taking damage from the snakes along the way, just like planning on the route. I will say, as a spoil, the pilot in this mode, having the Aga Tower climb is really nice because you just it's very long. It's like what, 3 or 4 minutes, and you just actually have that time as the pilot to overlook the seed and just have a route. Because if it's something where they give you a very early, Eastern, and there's Dark World access, and the runner is like, where do I go? Where do I go? I'm ready. Like, tell me where to go. But now, you have this like 3 minutes of the Aga climb, and getting that Bombos medallion actually being very useful here in Escape. Talon getting through that room a little bit quicker. Jamie's scouting out the big key before getting it. Nice. Just wanted to make sure the pilot wasn't lying to him. Oh, and there's the Eastern big. Very funny game.
Yeah, very funny here. Talon on the way through the dark maze here. Well, JB's just heading over to Catfish, it looks like.
Well, we don't have the glove or the hammer, so we can't go through there. We have to go through the river here, the very unknown, very rarely seen strat, and we can't even get to Catfish right now. So this is the way to West Dark World. I would think there's just nothing in pod, or we just go to pod later when we have the big key now and the hammer, of course.
Yeah, going to pod with only 2 small keys, you're not going to get much done.
Okay.
So that makes a lot of sense. So this is most likely Village of Outcast with the equipment that they have.
Yeah, what are we gonna get over here? Maybe maybe one glove. Hopefully, we get a flute or mirror or something nice. We can't even get up the mountain. Like this was so much an Agassiz. You couldn't even do anything, even if it wasn't a spoiler key sanity mode. We're going right to chess game. Gonna put those $30 that we got to use. Talon, by the way, has like $600. I think they grabbed an extra 300 somewhere, and there is that other 300. There's a 300 for JB sure. So. Something is going to be very expensive in this seat. I don't know what yet, but we're going to need some money. Might just be money for buying bottles later, buying potions.
Yeah, safeties or Zora, one of the two. Flute here in the town, and that's all Jay Meacher wanted?
I mean, flute is great. Now you can just go anywhere you want. You do have to activate it. I'm assuming there's a bunch of stuff on Paradox Cave in the mountain.
Oh my...
we weren't able to get up the mountain. We don't have gloves yet. So
I just had a very evil thought, and that makes all the more sense. Our gloves aren't a Dark World.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a glove. We don't have a hammer. Like it's so much an Agassiz. Oh, there's just something at Aga Tree also, by the way. Whether or not it was required for Dark World access, which it's looking like it was, we're gonna go in the Lumberjack.
Mirror. Okay. So, here's something that I'm getting a thought of. We need that flute because our gloves are locked behind it. Both of them.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised to find all 3 of those things, 2 gloves and the hammer up on the mountain at this point. I mean, we can get into Hera now. We have the Hera big key. We actually have the hook shot, which makes it nice for Rando. We can just go up there super quick. Okay, Aga down, so 3-ish minutes behind, I think Talon is. They did a little bit more overworld stuff in the beginning. They went all the way to Eastern Big Key Chest. That's where Bombos was, so they're going to make up a little bit of that time when Jay Measure goes back. Talon also scouting just to make sure that is the big key before we drop down and get it. Nice. It's just like, you know, I've been playing
muscle memory there.
Oh, it's 100% muscle memory is so hard. I've been practicing with my teammate. My teammate goes, "Oh, you don't need to open up the attic in Thieves Town. You don't need to get, the spike chest and ice pallet. You open them because that's what you do in Rando. You open up all the chests. It's very rare that you don't open things. You're actually like, as a runner, you pat yourself on the back when you make a skip because you're like, I listened to you. I did it. Aren't you proud of me?"
Yeah. Meanwhile, I think. But sometimes you can also have the opposite thing happen where you're saying, don't skip this, don't autopilot here, don't do it.
Yeah.
And then you autopilot anyway.
Okay, so what's in here? We can actually beat this boss, and it is a crystal.
Fire.
Oh, it's the other rod. Are we just gonna get like the Hera small in here as well? Another like vanilla small key.
Well, we have one vanilla item. There stands to reason that 2 of them have to be vanilla. Oh, the big GT Bigs here, right here.
Okay, hook speed, Aeropot. Get a nice diagonal input right there from the top. Okay, flute acquired for Talon. There we go. Pretty nice trick if you can learn that one. Not too difficult to learn if you're just trying. There's a few bomb setups as well. And if we're gonna go downstairs, we are. Is it just a loaded Tower of Hera? We're getting the big chest? Wow. Oh, it's a sword.
Tempered sword already. That's a good find.
Yeah, imagine having tempered sword in a pilot spoiler at 20 minutes.
Oh, taking a bit of a fall there.
Did not get the correct pixel there with that dash. We have the cape. Bust that cape out and get it free. Just like in... Yeah, that'll be good. Okay. Just like in Bumper Cave, you use the cape to get through those bumpers.
Nice to see, though, that the red gate's down so that Jamie can grab some health if needed.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier about how runners can be in restream and stuff, so like, you know, maybe as we get... I mean, just a super nice Moldorm kill there in an Ether Battalion, which is not required, but nice to have if you run into a sticky situation. So, you know, later in the seed, hey, do you want to grab this heart container, this heart piece, or this mail? Okay, well, maybe, but are we ahead? Are we behind? You know, it's kind of a separate skill with this mode is figuring out if you're ahead or behind. Okay, so we're going to Spectacle Rock the wrong way. Yeah, that's a muscle memory thing again. Oh, we're going back in. I'm not sure what's going on. Is there a bomb jump? I've never seen a bomb jump from the top. I think you just go from the bottom. So
I think there was a little bit of confusion and miscommunication there.
Yeah, I like this route. You haven't saved the old man, I don't think, but this is quicker to do this or after Hera and like save and quit and go do something else. A nice bomb to show his frustration. Oh, we're gonna get the jump across. Yeah. Oh, guess not.
Never mind.
Yeah, that can be pretty tricky. You got to be on the right pixel. Oh, cross staves in chat saying, yeah, maybe you're gonna try for the hover, but that's a pretty risky hover. Oh, and Jamie, you're knowing where the bombs are. That's good. That's a pretty risky hover. You would lose a lot of time as opposed to just trying the bomb jump after doing the item pickup. I'm not even sure if Jamie can hover. And we're gonna see a bomb setup as opposed to the hook speed. So Talon, a little back into that blast there. Nice job.
So they're set up to how our new, or somewhat new, trick regarding Swamp House works.
Yeah, we'll see if we see that Specky clip today. Okay, there's Mitts. We're just gonna get Hammer in here too.
Specky at these down, 10 back bombs, and that's it. So both clothes were on the mountain. I called it.
Yeah, I wonder where the so we're gonna get Hammer in like Desert Palace or something stupid like that now. Heads up there by the pilot too, saying, "Hey, there's 10 bombs in Paradox, so you know you're going to be low on bombs. Pick up those bombs." Oh, we're going into the Dark World here, and here's a Moldorm fight. Get one spin with Tempered and one slash, and that should be good. So yeah, pretty nice fight if Moldorm cooperates. Jamie going in the correct door there. So Talon tying up that crystal count.
Oh, this could be intriguing.
Yeah, if we get Samari up here, that's like Turtle Rock accessible. We only have 2 keys. I wonder if
it's
maybe
not accessible yet, but
yeah, if Samaria is here on the mountain, we could get into Turtle Rock.
No, we
need
can't.
Hammer as well. You're right. Wait, did he get
arrows? And he didn't get Bombos either. Jay Meisher did not get Bombos from Eastern.
Right. So Talon would have that opportunity if we have those 2 items up here on the mountain. Probably not. And you like to save Turtle Rock for the end if you can.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're up here, you might as well do it.
That is true.
It can also be locked behind a small key here as well.
Oh, there's Savaria, but no hammer. No hammer yet.
Well, You know what I just realized? We got a big key for something that we didn't need.
Oh, is it for a pendant or something? Yeah, there's definitely a possibility we could be going into pendant
ice
to get our crystal progression. Oh, I think the Ice Palace big was just like, oh, there's a hammer. The hammer on Pyramid or Desert Ledge, nice. I think the Ice big was just like in a cave with a bunch of other stuff anyway, so it was like, just grab it, you're here. I don't think they went out of their way to get it. But we did get flippers, and we're going to ice.
Well, you would ignore it if you didn't need it. is what I'm getting at. So maybe there's progression in there. Maybe Quake's in
Yeah.
Ice Palace.
Okay, we're not going to ice. Just making a fool out of me. Yeah, the big key to ice was in Kakariko well, so it was like you're just getting everything. Just get it. The pilot's like, I'm not going to look up what's in ice. Just get it. I'll figure it out later. Big key to desert. Jamie sure did not get that. Desert is a pendant though, so it's probably not a big deal. And yeah, here we are, paying Zora. We got 532 rupees. We're gonna need to farm if we need to go into Piles of Darkness. Talen's got enough to cover both of those, and that was what big key to Dark Palace. There. Speaking of which, Talen going into the Dark World. So yeah, just about still that like 3 minutes behind thing, sort of following in Jay Meisher's route, but does have that Bombos medallion, which is required. At this point, Jay Meisher does have Eastern Big and the bow, so could complete Eastern at any point now and pick up that Bombos during that trip. So here goes Jay Meisher. He realizes he doesn't have enough money to get into Pod, and it's going to go into Eastern first. There is some money in Eastern. I don't know if maybe farming from the 50 rupee cave or something would have been nice. I don't know if they're trying to combo Pod and Eastern together, but not a huge time loss if it's especially in this mode where you just know where you're going anyway. You're not going to full clear Pod for no reason.
Yeah, and there is a 300 rupees here in the map chest, as we saw Taylor pick it up, but he might go for yeah, he's going for it right now.
Yeah, this is more bang for your buck, I think, as opposed to the Eastern Rupee Room, which is about the same time commitment and is like 90 rupees instead of 300.
Yeah, it would have been enough regardless, though. But this allows him some room for error. Meanwhile, Taylor's heading over to the Maya region, looking to backdoor and get the hammer now.
Yeah. And are we going to go see Talon go into Desert? Because that had the... Talon got the Desert big. Okay, not yet. Maybe not ever, but definitely not right now.
Something that Gilgamesh could be doing here is actually just seeing the letters BK and just saying, hey, there's a big key here, grab it.
Yeah.
Without checking what it is.
And we see Jay Meisher get that piece of heart in the Eastern Compass chest. It's always nice to get a few of those. Maybe you end up with 4 along the way. Oh, and Butter Sword, nice.
Bottle of the Fairy, and meanwhile from Talen's side in the Waterfall Cave. Nice little extra safety there.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised Jay Meisher didn't get that. That seems like a very quick bottle. And, maybe Jay Meisher knows, maybe Walsh is telling him you're going to get a bottle from some other place not too long from now. But is going to so you're going to see a little bit of the time made up here that Jay Meisher did not spend that Talon did to get this Bombos. Talon did have boots, so it was pretty much the same amount of time that Jay Meisher is spending here.
All right, and where is Talon going to go next? Probably to Eastern Palace and the Pod region as well.
They've got enough money to get into Pod. I don't know if Pod with the 2 keys. Actually, they only have 1 right now. I don't know if Pod is on their mind. You could theoretically get in there, and if there's another key in there, beat it. Looks like they are going to go into Pod. Maybe they have 2, and our tracker's not up to date. We'll see when they actually get in that dungeon. It'll show up on the HUD. I remember we were talking about Turtle Rock keys at the beginning. I don't really remember specifically where all the pods were. But they, a little bit of the money management or the item drops coming in Talon's favor here. They had enough. They have that 110 rupees to get into Pod, where Jay Meisher had to farm some money and is not able to, combine this entry to Pod with mirroring right into Eastern. So a little bit of a time in favor for SaHa's kids right now.
Yeah. So we're getting our first look here as we get the quick kill setup here. Looking pretty good so far. And gets it done. Nicely done.
Nice. And Talon
and
only does
the investment.
Yeah. Oh, that's always nice when you get something nice on a boss drop. You're looking for the items, of course, but when you get something nice like the arrow refill. Now Talon does only have 1 key. So that is a key not to this dungeon, it's to Turtle Rock. That's TR3. So theoretically, that is impedable at this point. We could have a very nice, just running through all the rooms in Turtle Rock if if the seed is that kind. Oh, so Talon's going to go through the Bowlock side. I wonder if there's something here, or it's just like, hey, let's beat it, and we only have one key. There's nothing else we need. Let's just go.
This is more than likely to stay at the key, so they doesn't have to use the front door and go straight to the boss.
Yeah. I wonder where that other one was, but you know, hey, we don't have it. Let's just go through and beat this boss. It's faster to do it now than to go get that other key that we missed.
Yeah. Also, I want to point something out here. There was actually some really clever tech there that Talon did there. They did a charged sword strike to push this pillar, and then used the mini helmet sword to give him a launch towards the door, which was actually really clever.
Yeah, I love seeing that. Yeah, and Talon not picking up any chests on Bowlock's side, and remembering to not hit the switch, so he doesn't have to hit the switch again. So a really well executed right side of pod there. We see just a little bit ahead of Jay Meisher in pod, but does not have that Armos Knight's kill in Eastern Palace. So we'll have a quick trip into Eastern after this. Now Jay Meisher is going to have a little bit faster time with the two keys here. Can just go through the front door here.
Now, in terms of items, we are only the Quake from Gomo, but of course, that I'm not counting keys for that. We still have a few big keys left to find.
There was a pod key on Bottle Merchant, and I wonder if Talon did not get that one, and Jay Meisher did, because I remember Jay Meisher paying the Bottle Merchant on their return trip, which might have been the difference of the $100. Which forced Jay Meisher to do Eastern before pod.
Maybe. Well, here comes the Helmstar King fight. This should be pretty quick.
Yeah, we're on blue mail, so it's his 4-hit knockout here, not 2, which would be on green mail, because Helmasaur does 2 hearts on green mail, as any NMG player can tell you. Both runners, as we get a really nice, quick Helmasaur King fight there. Both runners on 5 hearts right now. We do get a nice mushroom. It's not really a fetch quest, though, if we know what's on the potion shop, the mushroom turn-in, so... Talon tying up that crystal count 2 apiece right now, but Jay Meisher is not far behind.
Yeah, it's Talon also have with the magic powder, so definitely opting to take a few more safeties over Jay Meisher here, which is going to cost a little bit of time in the long run, but might save them a lot more time in the long term here, allowing them to stay alive. We're in situations where things might be a little bit more problematic. All right. Helmasaur King down now for Jay Meisher, getting his 3rd crystal of the match.
Yeah,
where they're going to go next.
Yeah, Talon is behind not quite a full Eastern, not quite a half Eastern. Let's call it a 3/4 of an Eastern Palace behind Jay Meisher right now, so a couple minutes.
Yeah, all Talon has to do is go rush the boss. And not picking up the heart piece there, which Jay Meisher might be doing a 4-piece route. And what I mean by that, for anyone who's not aware, is because the heart pieces, when you get the 4th, give you a full heal, they might be trying to set up a tactical refill later on when they want it the most.
Yeah, you get those 4 quarter pieces of heart, and once you get that 4th one, you just get the refill. So it can be really nice, maybe at the top of the gauntlet, or on Laser Bridge when you're about to fight Trinex or something like that. It can be really nice. As we're going into Hype Cave here, always has something good, right? Okay, just the Turtle Rock key. That's it. I think that's 4 that we've seen now, because Talon's not been there and has 3 of them. So is something in Lava Chest? Are we supposed to get all 4 of them, or is it just that's the one that the Tile Roomies thought was the least egregious of all of the 4 Turtle Rock keys? Because technically you only need 3 to beat it. There's also the strat of if we just get all 4, we don't have to get the pokey key, and we could skip that long process there.
Big Key to Meyer found now.
Oh, that's really nice. That's fully completable Meyer now. Talon got a little off script at the beginning, so has to improvise a little bit, and there we go. And there's that nice refill.
And we've got everything we need for Turtle Rock. Apparently, we did find all 4 small keys for Jamie Sure.
Oh, okay. So I was too early looking at the number there. So he did get all 3 before, and now we're at 4. Interesting that they would make that trip to Hype Cave to get that. That just makes me think that something is in the lava chest, which is locked behind all 4 of the 4 Turtle Rock keys. And Talon also going to Hype Cave, of course.
Well, based on what we're missing, there's only one item that it could possibly be, and that is our big key to Thieves Town. Or the Quake Medallion. There's also that. I almost forgot about that.
Ah, yeah, so we can't beat Misery Mire at this point. But yeah, that's... I always forget how quickly it happens, how quickly you get into go mode in this mode, or at least go -1 or 2, and you just know where the other items are, of course. So I do want to point out that I did read the log specifically to find out about those pod keys, and I noticed there was one in Hype Cave. I feel like maybe a detour to Hype Cave would have been worth it for Talon before going to pod, because you're going there anyway, and you would have gotten your second pod key instead of going through Bullock side. But maybe they didn't realize that till they were already halfway. So we actually get divergence now. Talon is going into Ice Palace. There must be something here we're going to need. Could be one of those, that Quake Medallion that you were talking about. There is only one of them, but what is
I'm sure.
ice?
I think the writing's on the wall here. We picked up the Ice Palace key for a reason. So I think there's something in the big chest here, specifically of Ice Palace.
Yeah,
and
we've got
maybe something else
we get there quickly.
in Desert. So at this point, I think we can potentially be in no mode here, because JV's just going to be checking the volcano chest. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, we noticed.
Or not.
Okay, so that was just. It's very easy to get while we go do Stumpy, and it'll make us not have to do steal the pokey key. We can just use all 4 keys in the 4 doors along the way and not have to steal that pokey key. So pretty nice routing. You only see it in spoiler mode where you skip that pokey key. Now Talon did go back and hit the switch, so I'm wondering if that was muscle memory or if they're setting up to beat the boss here. Because we had 0 small keys coming in. So we're gonna get this key to use on this next door, and then almost definitely go on to the big chest, because as you pointed out, we do have that big key. Or they don't know that this is a pendant. That could be a thing if they've mismarked pendants and crystals. I would hope something is here. Okay, they're going through. They are going right for the boss. Okay.
Well, it's on Colster that we need then. And why do we?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, there's a free meanwhile on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, and we're looking for Quake and Deep Sound Big was the only 2 items. So one of them might be here, and one of them's in Turtle Rock. Might have one in both. Okay, and Jay Meisher did take a fall and says, "I do not want to go through this dungeon. I did not go through safety door. I'm at the middle of the dungeon. I'm going through safety door now. If I take a death, I will be back here." Because they also do not have that ferry that Talon got out of Waterfall Cave, and that's a big key to Thieves Town. Surprise, surprise.
All right.
Oh,
nice corralling of the pups there. So this will be the Quake Medallion if we're correct. It's a heart container.
Ooh, they might have mismarked pendants and crystals here. And Talon is saying, this is a pendant. What am I here for? Is there something on Ped? Like, that is a possibility, right? I mean,
there might be, actually. We have the small key, all the big keys necessary. Ooh.
I mean, we don't have the small key to swamp, but we do have the big key to desert, and that is not too far away from Jay Meisher if Jay Meisher needs to go get that right after Turtle Rock here. And Talon is headed into the Dark World, probably, I hope not Thieves Town, because we know where Thieves Town Big is. Skull Woods is a crystal, though, so going to Skull Woods next.
Jay Meisher not quite killing the ice head there, but does take a death. Oh, okay, minor time loss. But nope, not a big deal because he did use the safety door.
Yeah, I mean, not going to fault anyone for taking safety door on 6 hearts here. That's like two hits, I think, for on Trinex. And those pokies do a lot of damage too, so maybe you get hit before. There is a heart here, so grab this heart. And get that magic refill, and Talon gets the key and gets Wall Mastered back. Now, we already had a key. We got a key in like the well or something like that. So either setting up for something in Compass Room or Pinball Room or something.
Setting up so they don't have to fight the Gibdo is what they're doing.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, save that magic use or that time. It's just a little bit faster. Unfortunately, got grabbed by that Wall Master. Otherwise, it would have been a time save. But now it's unfortunately a slower way. But by the way, Trinex take 2 complete, and yes, please grab that magic. Yeah. Little nice thing is if you're using some magic that you already had before you grabbed a full one, and you use that magic during the refill, you'll actually get a full refill anyway. It'll just keep continuing to refill. So, nice heads up job by Talon there. Now Jay Meisher's fluting away, not getting Desert Big Key.
Heading to Skull Woods. We don't need the big key for Skull Woods.
Yeah, one of I think yeah, Talon did grab Big Key to Skull Woods, so that might have been hey, it's here. I don't know if I need it, but like you're in the well or wherever it was. Oh, takes a death, but does have that fairy, I think so.
Yeah, so that was the fairy, so we're gonna be fine in that regard. Heading to Thieves Town to start things off.
Oh, great job opening up the door there on the farthest left pixel to minimize the amount of rollback. And
there's Quake. Okay, so we have our go mode now, which puts Jay Meisher in a pretty commanding position here.
Yeah, I think unfortunately Gilgamesh and Talon got little wires crossed with what the dungeon prize was at Ice.
Yeah, I don't think they checked the Ice Palace prize there, and that kind of confused them a bit.
Yeah, Jay Meisher doing the heads-up play here. Already had the Steve small, and knows he doesn't have to go through the hallway and get the small. Can just use it on that first door, and then use this key here, and not worry about abandoning the big chest. Yeah, and yeah, one thing I always do with my pilot is they tell me what the pendants and crystals are right away. So I'm just not sure when. It can be very confusing. Seed bleed is a thing. Hey, this is what we did yesterday, and I got confused. But you hate to see that. I hope Talon can just keep trying on here and hopefully persevere, as they are going into a tough Misery Mire here. Don't have silver arrows yet.
No, I don't think silver arrows are going to be in a good position here. Otherwise, they would have rushed to it by now. So probably deep in GT is my guess.
Yeah, if silvers were anywhere else, you would definitely get them before this. But we got Gold Sword and the Cape still, so like not really the hardest fight in the world. I've seen a lot worse vitreous fights, and doing the go mode, Misery Mire the correct way, going through this, it's a little bit faster to grab that key than to go on the left side. Oh no, Jay Meisher. Jay Meisher just wanted to be sure that he had 1 out of 8 items in this dungeon.
That's always funny when you get the compass into the vanilla dungeon.
Yeah, the compass, I do like this update. So when you get the compass to a dungeon in key sanity modes, it gives you a little HUD about the number of items in that dungeon and the number of items you picked up. So it's it's kind of nice in these key sanity modes where you don't have a pilot. And let's see if we get a nice blind script kill here.
Looking like it. And there's even some functionality with the compass in Key Sandy with boss shuffle happening. It tells you what the boss is at the end of the dungeon. So there's no guesswork involved. Maps, meanwhile, they tell us what our dungeon prize is, but because this is a spoiler log race, kinda don't need them.
Yeah, and if you like randomized bosses, come back in 3 weeks or 2 weeks. Week 7 is co-op Randomizer, including Bossimizer. So you're going to see some crazy bosses. You might get a super easy moth in like, Trinex's room, and you might get hard Armos in like Skullwood's boss arena, which is like literally impossible. So that compass is going to come into play those days.
In Skullwood's arena, which is particularly one of the fan favorites.
Ah, yeah, the Helmicopter. So yeah, that cape is also great here because if you're like just mashing your sword while using the cape, you do not drain magic, at least as quickly. So very useful here, and then firing 8 arrows into the big eyeball.
Yeah, this is all she wrote for, I think, SaHa's kids here, unfortunately. Because SaHa's kids has not one but 2 more mountain climbs. First to go through Turtle Rock to get the big key and clear the dungeon, and then again to go up GT. After going back to go do Thieves Town. Whereas Jay Meisher here is looking to finish up their last 2 dungeons here with Skull Woods and Misery Mire. And only have 1 more mountain climb, so that's a bit of a time save there.
Yeah, but it's not over till it's over. Like, Jay Meisher is a very good runner. Has been in the league, I think, all the seasons. Has been around.
Yeah, Roomies has been around for a long time.
Yeah, knows what he's doing, but mistakes do happen. We saw him take a death on Trinex. Could take a death in an inopportune place in Ganon's Tower. Like, that's not a quick dungeon. Gold Sword really helps. Speaking of Jay Meisher knowing his stuff, that was a great moth kill. 2 spike moth. Well done.
Yep, 4809, and that is go mode for Jay Meisher. No bottles, though, and no safeties other than that armor. So, does have to play a little careful, but 6 hearts should be enough to see him through.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see if, at this point, Jay Meisher's pilot is probably tuned in and sees the layout where Talon is. Wouldn't be surprised to see Jay Meisher go get a bottle or something, just a safety to have. We know where one is. Maybe there's an easy to get one somewhere else. As he flutes to the wrong location, getting a little antsy. GT opens with 7 crystals, not 6, but it's okay.
Yeah, it will open with 5 actually come next week, which is our Champions Ganon node, which is going to feature one of our newest modes in Ganon Hunt, which is Triforce Hunt with the added condition that after you collect all your triangles, you get to go fight Ganon.
Yeah, well, it's a little unique spin on the Triforce Hunt. I really like what they've done. It's 2 out of 3 of the Triforce pieces, so there's 3 placed, and you only need 2 of them. But you know where they all 3 are. There's 1 in Ganon's Tower in the basement somewhere. There's 1 in the Pyramid Fairy, and there's 1 on pedestal. So you have to beat 3 pendants, some combination of the 2. 3 pendants, the 5-6 crystals, or 5 of any of the crystals, including the 5-6 crystals. So you might get a very nice layout with a 5-6 and just 3 other crystals, and go get your Ganon's Tower. Your Ganon's Tower Triforce piece, and then go do the pyramid and drop into the Ganon hole, because it's actually fast Ganon in that mode. You don't need to clear Ganon's Tower. And Talon not opening the door, good for them. That's also very hard when that small key from that pokey drops right by that door. You are just hoping you do not flash right. You are like laser focused on pressing up and left only.
Yeah, interesting that Talon went for that key anyway, despite having all 4. I guess our tracker has the amount mismarked.
Yeah, I don't think they actually do, because they have 2 right now, and they are going to use 1 after chain chomps, or excuse me, crystal roller room, and then 1 to get to the boss. So they might have only gotten 3. Yeah, sometimes it's in this mode you're used to only getting 3. Like sometimes the 4th one is just such in a bad place, left side swamp or cutscene in mire or something stupid that you're like, no, it's just faster to get the pokey key. Like this one actually kind of put them in a place that weren't too bad, and Jamie sure got all 4 of them.
Yeah,
I could see someone skipping like the hype cave one or something like that, but that felt
we're getting
very,
further
very quick.
confirmation here that sorry for talking over you there, but Gilgamesh, the pilot here for Talon, has confirmed that they did not have all 4 keys. So you can see her in chat with us here. We're watching the race.
Nice. That's sort of live reporting from the field. I love it. This is part of the great part about this week is we get, we might get the runners chatting in chat. We don't know. That's a little bit of a crazy thing sometimes. Get that big heart, and a small key to thieves. And Talon is just going right for the boss, not worried about safety door. We got gold sword, Trinex. Let's go.
Yep, and that is going for Talon now, but Jamie Beecher has collected all 7 crystals, and this is where we play the game, but we already have the big key, so there's no game to play.
Yeah, do we have a Ganon's Tower small? We do. We don't even have to go to the free key on the left side. We can just go right up the door. Now, Jamie sure has no safeties, no bottle. Did not stop off to get a bottle at Waterfall Ferry or literally anywhere else. Maybe there's like 2 bottles in Hope Room or something. We'll see, but I would definitely have grabbed a safety here just to protect this lead, I would think.
I can see Jay Meisher not grabbing the safeties because he's in a pretty commanding lead here. He's setting up for Heart Piece. He's refill in a little bit. And to his credit, he may also opt to go to the basement just for a brief moment to grab the one singular small key underneath the pod just to save some time and not have to fight the mini helmets at the top of the tower.
Yeah, and there might be something here. He's climbing up in the Dark World, which is slower, but not that much. Okay, I'm not even going here. I love John Flip in chat telling us that Jamie Easter's going to do Tile Room because his team is the Tile Roomies. Of course, you have to do it. It's a mandatory, Jamie Easter, please.
Well, they see how far ahead they are, so maybe. They got a whole dungeon ahead of them.
Yeah, he's got such a lead that he's keeping the sword out for the GT cutscene, saying, I don't care about the lag frames. No, I know, and Saber UX telling us how the other safeties were just not in the way anyway, so they were not in kind places apparently. I don't know. 6 heart gauntlet can get pretty rough sometimes, as we see him taking the safe path here, getting that heart refill. Okay, and this is the way to take no damage, no spikes there. So you get it's actually heart positive as opposed to some other strats. I mean, he doesn't even have a way to fill up magic in case things get fishy with, Moldorm 2 fight Land Mode 2 fight, and then torches 1 and 2. He does have lamp though, which makes the gauntlet and torch glitch just nice.
There is some magic grab on the way though, so there's a full decanter in the next room with a small resupply detour.
Yeah, and there's
there is another full decanter in the Isla's room just below the second torch puzzle.
Really nice cape dash there on that God Pixel by Talon. Well done. Didn't even need the cape, but had it out anyway. Totally fine. I would have done the same. Oh, Zizak not playing nice. Gauntlet 1. Now, something that has come out in the spoiler logs in the past few months is that the dungeon, or excuse me, the prize packs are actually listed. So Walsh might be telling Jay Meisher what these enemies are going to drop. We know that they're in the Hearts group or whatever. I'm not exactly sure what Zizaks are in, but hey, they're in the Magic group today. They're going to be dropping tons of magic, or they're going to be dropping, that nice prize pack that has a fairy in it, so you can burn through your magic or something like that.
Fortunately, it looks like they're in the rupee dropping packs. I saw a blue, red, and a green.
Yeah, we'll see what the Wizrubs drop. And we get, want to be careful about magic usage here. Don't want to spend too much magic and then not have enough for torches. Looks like we're going to be fine. 1 more to kill. Yeah, get a nice gold spin. Talon not grabbing the compass.
Yeah. Meanwhile, SaHa's giving us the information on where those remaining safeties were. Redman was at Gina. That's probably was the easiest one to get, but the rest were in uh, Scope Compass, Ice Compass, and the Floating Island. Floating Island probably would have been the next best thing to get, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Okay, there's a
And
hard
yeah, this was
drop.
the
That's
magic
nice.
dropping group.
Okay, does not get knocked off, does not get 1.0. That's good. I think would have had enough hearts anyway, but you never know. Okay, I'm going to use Fire Rod here. A little caught up on that block. I think it's still going to be fine. And still has a lamp in his inventory just in case things get fishy. So we're going to grab
Yeah,
this
right
full
here,
magic.
these lasers will do 2 hearts and going up just fine. 7th crystal, meanwhile, picked up from Talon, but there is already such a big lead here.
Gotta remember to. Oh my gosh, was on mirror for half a second. I was very afraid of a mirror out. Oh, a nice big heart. And a half magic. Wow. What a nice top of Candace Tower.
Yeah, so there's all the safety Jamie needs.
Yeah. And we're. Oh my
The
god.
silver arrows! Yeah, no, he's gonna be fine.
I was very afraid of that mirror, though. There was maybe my internet hiccup, but it looked like he was on mirror for quite a while in the mini Helma room. Are we gonna grab this chest too? No.
No, of course not. He's got everything he needs. He was on mirror for a little bit, but not taking too long there. But yeah, 8 hearts. I don't know, 7 hearts going into the Ganon fight. Should be pretty straightforward here.
I don't even know what could have been in Moldorm 2 chest that would have been funny. I mean, maybe like the 4th piece of heart or something stupid that would have actually like filled him up. But you know, half magic, silvers, and a heart container at the top of GT. It's like, yeah, you wish you had that stuff in the well, but we'll take it at any point.
Almost a triple double there, but unfortunately, Agon decided, hey, I'm going to throw a blue ball. So 2-2-1-1 there. And now Jamie will fight Ganon. This will put Towers in a very strong position. This gets cleared up quite nicely. And with the entire GT climb in front of Talon, they may not be able to make it in time, even if there was a Ganon follower or a death.
Yeah, Jay Meisher is well positioned to take the tile roomies to 15 points to be 5-3 at the end of this. But we'll see how this fight goes. We'll know in a couple minutes. Ganon says, "Mom, please knock on my door. I told you not to barge in." 6 hits, nice. Easy phase
gold
1.
And silver in hand, it only takes 6 hits to get through these first 2 phases. And then once we get started with the teleporting phase, it'll just be another 4. And then the last phase, Darkness Ignite, keep torches lit, stun Ganon, 4 silver arrows, done and dusted. And we're through the worst of the phases now, and now we're into the teleports. Pretty rude pattern to start with, though.
Yep, 4 hits once he stops teleporting. Down to, there's number 4. And gonna take 4 more silver arrows.
There's 1.
Oh wow, he didn't even teleport.
For a second hit.
Does Ganon get to move at all?
Yeah, you got to move it. But there we go, folks. That's all she wrote. Get the GZ in the chat for Jay Meisher. We'll cross the finish line here in just a matter of moments. Wow, what a race.
Yeah, congrats to the Tile Roomies on going 2-0 this week and moving up in those standings in their division. And he does cross that bridge and finish with an official time of 1 hour and 0 minutes and 15 seconds.
What a time there. And we can see that Talon is stopped here and has decided to forfeit. But GG's to Talon and all the same. The routing was just a lot cleaner on Jay Meisha's side.
Yeah, and we'll see if we can get all of them, at least a couple. in for the interview. Hopefully we get pilots and the runners, get their thoughts on the seed.
Yeah, my thoughts of the seed was this was actually a pretty good, clean race, all things considered. Negative seed, he'd but still nearly a sub hour is still pretty impressive for spoiler or log races.
Absolutely.
And we are now joined by Jay Meisher and Taylin. GG's to both of you. Will your looks like at least one of your pilots will be joining us here. Here, let's see if we can get him in.
GG's.
Yep.
Hey, GG's.
And there we go with Gilgamesh here. GG's to you
What
for rounding your team here. So I'll pose this question to you, and then when Artie Walsh comes in here in a bit, we'll ask him if he's going to join us. Walk us through your routing for this seed.
Well, it was going pretty good until I was a moron and mismarked a crystal, and then from there it went bad. That's basically it. I mean, there was the seed, like the routing itself was pretty linear. Otherwise, honestly, like it was, it became pretty obvious that you had to do AGA fairly early, and you didn't have a way around it because both clubs were on the mountain, and the flute was in the dark world. So like, it's like, okay, well, that needs to get done. And from there, it was like, all right, well, get your flute, get your gloves, get your last couple pieces of progression, and then you're good to go for the most part, except for the Thieves Town Big in Turtle Rock. But mistakes were made, and here we are.
Yeah, we noticed you guys got Bombos earlier than the tile roomies did, and we didn't know where Hammer was and all that stuff, so we thought maybe that Turtle Rock would be fully completable on your first trip up there once we saw the mix show up.
We were talking about that as we were heading up there. I was like, man, was there a way to do TR the first time up here? But the answer was no. Like, there's because of where the hammer was and where the book was. I don't know if you guys happen to know where the book was, but
well, that was my next question. Like, where was that? It's probably just not as fast as just doing an extra mountain climb when you get Hammer.
It's in Lava Chest.
It's Lava Chest.
Oh, come on.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, there was no way around 3 mountain climbs this seed. And then yeah, obviously we after the fact, after the Ice Palace fiasco, we realized it would have been better to do Turtle Rock before going to Skull Woods, because you could have just done Thieves Town, Skull Woods in conjunction at that point. But after the pendant dropped, we knew we were cooked anyway, so it was just kind of like, all right, let's just go through the motions until they finish.
And we are now to my Artie Walsh use, and earlier question I asked was, walk us through your routing to Gilgamesh. Go ahead and do the same here.
Oh, sorry. I just I didn't quite catch that. What was the question?
Walk us through your routing here for this seed.
Okay, yeah. First of all, GG's guys. That was a rough break with ice.
GG's.
Yeah. I was kind of relieved when I thought it was an August seed, just because like once you're in Castle Tower, that's just kind of like a few minutes that you get to like kind of plan out your route. So yeah. So like that was really like time that I got to like kind of like smooth stuff out and just like make sure that there wasn't like ways to get around stuff, like finding out that the mirror on Lumberjack was like hard required, even beyond the fact that this was an Aka seed. So yeah, it was interesting early game, but at least it wasn't like like too stressed. Like I didn't have to do any like pod key math or anything weird like that. It was just like find the stuff and just try to piece together.
Yeah, the dungeons in general were pretty friendly. Like almost nothing was in the dungeons, so you kind of just got to go run through those real fast once you had all your items.
Yeah, I think Hera was like the densest one. That was like
Hera, and then TR obviously had the Thieves Town Big, but other than that, like I don't. Eastern had your boots and whatnot, but
Yeah, I think on our end, the most stressful thing was money. Like trying to figure out how we were going to have enough money to do all the stuff we needed to do.
Oh, really? I thought the money was pretty easy there. So I had Taylor grab the 300 in Eastern when we went there first time, and then the 300 in I think SaHa, and then that was enough for the rest of the seed, really.
So we actually skipped that first time through. So
okay.
Yeah,
I'm fluting over to go grab Hammer and then go to Zora so we get that big key. And I was like, I only have 503 rupees, so there was a very panicked money. Find me money, please.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
we had to do.
Yeah.
It was a little suboptimal. We ended up having to run in to go do Eastern first, and then we couldn't do the mirror over stuff. But yeah, beyond that, like it felt pretty good. Besides the brief moment of panic when Walsh tells me you guys are an ice palace, I'm like, wait, why are they an ice palace?
Yeah, playing mind games here.
What did we miss? Either we made a very critical error or they made a very critical error.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's always rough, and
then
it's real
and
stressful.
drop down.
Yeah, I think it's just real stressful, for the pilots. You're trying to get that early route getting set, and yeah, sometimes it can happen where you miss something like that. So
Yeah.
definitely tough.
Well, let's look ahead here to your next week, which is going to be the Champions Ganon Hunt mode. You guys looking forward to playing that? That's going to feature the new Tripe variant, I believe.
Yeah, that's an interesting mode. Let me tell you, I am still trying to figure it out. But I think it's going to be myself and Kappa, I believe. We'll get that sorted out. I know I'm doing it because I've been grinding the mode a bunch, but it's different. Like, how much do you, given that your goal might shift midway through depending on what you find, like, how much can you skip? How much do you have to like full clear is something I'm still trying to wrap my head around with that mode.
Yeah, that mode can definitely change on a dime. And I mean, the practices have either been like 1 hour, 10-minute jets, or 145, 150. Oh my god, just keep slogging through
Yeah,
it.
find
It's like
your
no
second
middle
sword.
ground.
Good luck.
Yeah, I've
So
had
it's
several
gonna
that have been
be-
like sword go modes. I've had several that like find fire so you could beat Ganon go modes.
So it could either go really good or really bad.
Yeah, it
Sounds like...
could be a pretty volatile mode.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like it'll be definitely a good watch, at least. And looking here at your opponents, Tile Roomies, you'll be fighting Don't Forget to Track Us. Meanwhile, SaHa's Kids will be fighting your mom's favorite rando team. You looking forward to fighting those teams here?
We're here to them. Yeah, next couple weeks are our meat grinder. Yeah.
As opposed to the rest of the weeks, which have been super free. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's whatever. Everybody's good here.
Yep.
Especially with them
log on every week.
Especially with a mode that's like this new.
Yep.
Absolutely taking nothing for granted. One of the big reasons why was huge for us to get these wins this week. I mean, trying to make sure we're in that upper half of the division. Next week's gonna be rough. We still got Drifters a couple weeks from now, I think. So like, yeah, it's tough. This is Invitational League for a reason, right? Everyone who's here is accomplished and can beat you on a good day. So it'll be interesting. I'm still trying to figure out if I like Champions Ganon Hunt, but it's interesting if nothing else.
Yeah, and you mentioned in that Fragile Drifters and are really strong here. They, of course, are currently, as of this point in time, tied for third place with 4-2 with your Monster Random team, but they have not done their Week 4 games just yet. So they could potentially put you into third place here. So this is going to be good. They're fighting each other this week, too. So one of them is going to definitely go up, or both of them could go up. And it could be a three-way 5-3.
I'll just say this, man. Those are going to be some incredible races. Like those guys are crazy. So
if you've been holding out wanting to watch some spoiler, those are some really hype matches to watch.
Yeah, if you enjoyed this, like those are going to be incredible races to watch.
Yeah, it's definitely a good time. All things considered. And of course, folks, make sure to tune back in here at 10 o'clock where we have Fluffer Random Find-Out versus the Salt Miners happening here earlier today. And then join us here again at midnight for not an invitational game, but an open game Cowardly Dodgers versus Northside Beckler Gamers, Homewrecker versus Cryo Monoxide. So we got some Open League action here on Speed Gaming. That should be fun to see. Alright, folks, I have nothing else to ask you guys because I have one question here. Your final thoughts on the seed.
I don't know. It was nice to have the Agate Tower time. I think more spoiler seeds should be like that. Also, I don't like spoilers.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, we were not fans of when spoiler got announced for this season, but it was like, all right, we just had to do it, so it's fine. But we really just felt like we wanted a seed or a race that kind of gave us a chance to at least hang with another team, especially the quality of the opponents we had today. So I feel like the seed gave us the option, and we just kind of spoiled it.
Just threw it out in the trash.
So the spoilers spoiled you. Makes some sense.
But yeah, definitely want to say GG to our opponents. Thanks, guys, for being very, very flexible and getting the races scheduled.
Yes, appreciate
thanks
that.
for not being in Europe. That really makes life easier for us.
Honestly, same.
We have been so nice this year compared to last year.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah, dude. The last 2 years we were in the Europe conference for
Same.
league, and yeah,
we had I think of the 11 matches that we played last year, 10 of them were with Euro teams.
Yeah,
So,
that's correct.
Yeah, no, like I like racing the Euro people. Like I'm like if I ever do ladder, it's usually at like 7 a.m. on a Saturday. But like
Right.
sometimes I would like to do something else on Saturdays. Yeah.
So thanks for the crew, thanks for the comms, and we really appreciate the chance. And we'll come back next week and give it another shot.
Yes, thank you for racing here, folks. Folks, make sure to follow Jason Misha, Talon, Gilgamesh, and Artie Walsh for doing the piloting and racing today for you here. Make sure to also follow Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6 so you don't miss any racing action, not just the ALTTPR Randomizer League. And we also host some of our races on the ALTTPR League and its subsidiary channels as well. Make sure to also follow our tracker, SaHa's. Thanks, and of course, Dapper Warman, thank you for commenting in here. I barely got a word in edgewise, but that's perfectly fine. But you can drop us all here and follow here as well, and maybe me as well. But for all of us here in the ALTTPR Randomizer League, I have been Wolfling 0370, and we shall see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.